Warrior Flow 1. This sequence targets your quads, glutes and hips, but as with all yoga, it really is a whole body experience. We'll begin by recapping on the technique for yoga breathing to make sure your body is getting an efficient supply of oxygen to keep your muscles fueled. Start by lying down on your back, feet hip distance wide and your knees dropped into touch. Rest your hands on your belly, middle fingers touching. Close your eyes and tune into your breath, deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Try inhaling in and down to your belly. You'll feel your belly rise. And then exhale out and up. Inhale in and down. And exhale out and up. Bring your hands now to rest on your rib cage, deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Feel your rib cage expand out in all directions with your inhale. Inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. Coming into reclining pigeon pose, a gentle stretch for the glutes. Pick up your left leg and place it on your right thigh. Allow the knee to drop open to the side. Now pick up your right leg and draw that leg closer into the chest. Place one hand on your left knee and one hand on your left foot. This will help you guide your leg in closer and intensify the sensation of a stretch down the left buttocks in the glutes and the piriformis. Keep your breathing slow and steady. Swapping to the other side, pick up your right ankle and place it on your left thigh. Let the knee open out here. Now to intensify the stretch, pick up your left leg and use it to draw your right leg closer into your chest. Place your hands on your knee and your foot and bring your attention into the left buttocks. Observe the sensation of a stretch here. And with each exhale, try and soften to stop clenching. Slowly lowering that foot down, hug both knees into your chest. Rocking up to seated and then coming all the way forwards onto hands and knees. From here we're going to come back into child's pose. Sit your buttocks back on your heels and with your arms outstretched allow the elbows to bend and hang your head. Some of you the head might touch the mat here. If it doesn't, you can make fists with your hands and rest your forehead on your fists. Try not to tense the shoulders. Again, bring your awareness back to conscious breathing. Inhale deeply and exhale fully. Coming up to all fours, bring the hands out in front, preparing for downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide and come into that upside down V shape. Start with your knees bent in the warm-up. Now walking the feet out, bend one knee and draw your opposite heel down. So we're slowly mobilizing the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves, the Achilles. We don't want to push into these stretches too strongly, too quickly. Now as you come into a pause, roll the shoulders away and start to stretch both heels down towards the mat, but still not forcing it. You'll feel this ease off throughout the practice. Step your feet up towards your hands, bend your knees and drape your body down over the legs. Hold your elbows for a little bit more intensity and hang your head. This is a passive stretch, just helping us to warm up the hamstrings. Again, we're not forcing this. Now rolling up to stand, push down through the feet, sweep your arms out wide, palms touch above your head, and exhale as you lower the hands back to your heart. Strengthening for the knees. Take your feet hip distance wide and bring your hands to your hips. Come onto tiptoes on one foot and then the other. Lift the heels really high, but try and keep them stable as you slowly lower them down. Inhale, rise up onto the ball of the feet, lift the heels, and exhale, lower. I'm going to show you that from the side now. Coming up high onto the balls of the feet, really try to keep your heels steady. and exhale down. Now add some arms. Inhale, sweep your arms up, rise up high onto the tops of the toes as high as you can. Then slowly lower down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift high onto the tops of the toes, keeping the heels steady, not rocking in or out. And exhale to lower. Once more, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower. Now coming into the Surya Namaskar A to warm up the body. From the front of the mat, inhale, sweep your arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, fold, rib cage to thighs. Inhale, lift the chest to the number 7. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Transitioning slowly, inhale, curl forwards to your push-up. Lower the knees, elbows in, lower all the way down. Inhale into cobra, shoulders soft. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. And take 3 deep breaths here. Looking first at that extension through the spine, long back, and then feeling the stretch down the back of the legs. Full deep breathing. Inhale, bring your feet to touch. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, and step or hop your feet forwards. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rising up to stand, push down through the feet, sweep out and up. And exhale, lower your hands to your heart. One more round. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, fold, rib cage to thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, curl forwards to the top of the push-up, and exhale, lower half or full chaturanga. Inhale, rise into cobra, and exhale as you draw the navel back to spine into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Inhale fully. And exhale completely. 2 more breaths, digging down through the fingertips and sliding the shoulders away from each other. Inhale, bring the feet to touch. Exhale, step or hop. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to stand. And exhale, lower your hands back down to your heart. Strengthening flow, a standing sequence. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift your chest into Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, sit the hips down for Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale as you sweep your torso up and draw your arms overhead, then bring the hands together in front of the heart. Tucking your tailbone under here as you lift your navel in and up, then returning the hands together at the heart. You're going to take a full cycle of breath. Moving into Uttanasana, lower your chest down and start to straighten the legs only as far as is available. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale to fold. This wave-like movement, inhale, lengthening, and exhale, fold. Once more, inhale to lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your chest, and take your feet hip distance wide. Returning to Utkatasana, sink the hips back and down, lift your torso and lift your arms. I'm going to show you this from a front now, a different variation of Utkatasana. The feet hip distance wide, and your knees are right over your second toe. Now think about squeezing your thighs together. This strengthens the inside thigh. But still keep those knees right out over your second toe. Now we're going to add some movement to this. Inhale, sweep your arms up, and then lower your chest to a tabletop position as you sweep your arms behind you. Again, inhale, lift your chest, and exhale that chest down to a tabletop. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale to lower. Twice more. This often reminds me of someone skiing. Inhale, lift the chest. And now lowering down into that skier shape. Last round. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale. From Utkatasana, we're going to come into Warrior One. Step your right foot back. Align the feet heel to heel. Back foot's turned into 45 degrees. And spin your rib cage to the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, soften your shoulders. Holding for 5 full, deep breaths. Make sure that your front knee is directly above your ankle. In your back leg, try pushing the heel down to help strengthen the glutes in that side. One more breath. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Coming into Warrior Two, lengthen and narrow your stride. Front heel to back instep arch. Place a hand on your knee and a hand on your hip and draw the two away from each other. Now sweep the arms up to shoulder height. From here we're going to take Flying Warrior. Inhale, straighten the front leg and lift your arms overhead. And exhale, lower back down into Warrior Two. Going to repeat that 4 more times. Inhale as you rise and exhale into Warrior Two. As you rise, push down through the feet. And when you come back into Warrior Two, check that front knee is going straight over your second toe. This is going to really help with the tracking in that front leg when you're running. Now holding Warrior Two and coming into Parsvakonasana. Forearm to your front thigh as you sweep your back arm up and over, palm down. Root down through your back heel and really stretch and extend away through that top arm. It's a strong side stretch. Inhale, rise back up to Warrior Two, and exhale as you bring the hands down to the mat. Coming into Anjayasana, we're going to lower the back knee down. I'll show you first here how you can fold the edge of your mat over and place your knee on there. Some people with more bony knees will find that extra padding quite helpful as we come into the next sequence. If you feel you don't need that, just leave the mat as it is. So in low lunge, bring your hands up to rest on your front thigh. Tuck your tailbone under and then sweep your arms overhead. Soften the shoulders down away from your ears. This should feel like a nice stretch down that right thigh and hip flexor. Exhale, lower the hands down and straighten the front leg as you lift the toes to your face. Fold forwards into Ardha Hanumanasana. Moving rhythmically with the breath, inhale, lengthen through the torso and exhale to fold. Place that foot flat down now and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, curl forwards to the push-up and exhale, lower in Chaturanga. Inhale, rise into Cobra. And exhale, slowly come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your feet to touch. Exhale, bend the knees and the elbows and step or hop your feet forwards. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, fold. Your feet are touching. Inhale, rise into Utkatasana and exhale, your hands to your heart. Repeating this on the other side. Step the left leg back into Warrior One, aligning the feet heel to heel. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead and exhale, soften your shoulders. Bring your attention to the breath, smooth and deep. Last breath here. Now transitioning into Warrior Two. Change the stride, it's long and narrow. Front heel to back instep arch. Sweep your arms out to shoulder height. Notice here how both your hips and your chest are facing the long edge of your mat, but your front knee is out over your second toe. Bringing this into Flying Warrior, inhale, straighten the legs, sweep your arms up, and exhale, lower back down to Warrior Two. 4 more times. Inhale to rise, And exhale, lower, watching the tracking in that front knee. Inhale, rise, push down through the feet. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Last round, inhale. And exhale, warrior two. Moving to Parsvakonasana, forearm, front thigh, back arm up and over. Root down through your back heel and extend away through that top hand. Feel the side stretch here. Inhale, rise to warrior two, and exhale, lower your hands down to your mat. Anjayasana, low lunge. Remember, you can double over the edge of your mat for extra padding. Lowering the knee down, sweeping long back thigh. Inhale as you lift the chest up, front knees over the ankle, and now sweep your arms all the way over your head and soften your shoulders. Bring your awareness to where you feel the sensation of stretch. It should be down that left thigh and hip flexor. Lowering the hands down to the mat, Ardha Hanumanasana. Lift the toes to the face, put a slight bend in your knee as you fold forwards. Inhale to back off and exhale, fold again. Inhale to back off and exhale to fold. Lower the foot down and step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, curl forwards to the push-up and exhale, lower. Coming into Salambasana, interlace your hands behind you. Inhale as you roll your shoulders open, lift your chest and your legs up. Exhale, lower. Repeat that twice more. Inhale to rise, reaching up and back. Exhale down. Inhale to rise. And exhale, lower. Bring your hands by your side. Inhale, coming into cobra, shoulders soft. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Taking a few cycles of breath here. Noticing any changes in the back of the legs as the hamstrings have had a bit of a stretch. From downward facing dog, you've got one more standing sequence. You're going to start by coming into a lunge. Inhale, sweep your right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw your right knee into the chest. Lift in and up in this. Step your foot forwards to the thumb. If it didn't make it, just help it out. Now finding this lunge, feet hip distance wide and your back heel lifted. Push down in the front foot and inhale, lift the torso and the arms all the way up. Bring your hands down to your hips. Bend your back knee and tuck your tailbone under. Then straighten the leg and lift your arms. As you hold Exalted Warrior, you'll feel this stretch down that left thigh and hip flexor. Deepen the breath to fuel the front thigh. Now making fists. Bring your fists into your side waist and bend your back knee. Inhale, straighten the leg, sweep your arms overhead, and exhale as you repeat that. Do that 3 more times. This is fists of fire. Bring the elbows in, strong back leg. Inhale, rise, and exhale to lower. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, and exhale, lower. Now moving on, inhale, straighten the arms, and step your stride shorter. Preparing for warrior 3. Bring your hands by your side and shift your weight into your front foot. Start to lift the back leg up, coming into the letter T. Flex the back foot and push away like you're pushing against a wall. Remember to breathe. It's really tempting to hold your breath. Lower down on an exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up back into Exalted Warrior. And then lower the hands all the way down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forwards to the top of the plank, and exhale, lower into a hover. Inhale, push back up, and now lower all the way down. Inhale, rising cobra, shoulders soft. And exhale, draw back to downward facing dog. Let's repeat that on this side. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the ceiling. Draw your left knee into the chest and step your left foot to your left thumb. Pick it up and help it if it didn't get there. Find the lunge, feet hip distance, back heel lifted. Inhale as you rise up into Exalted Warrior, and exhale the hands down to your hips. Bend your back knee, tuck the tailbone under, then straighten the back leg as you sweep your arms overhead. This will intensify the stretch that you're feeling in that right thigh and hip flexor. Just check your knee and the front leg is directly over your ankle, and take one more breath. Making fists, draw them into the side waist, bend your back knee. Inhale, rise, and exhale, lower. Inhale, rise, fists of fire, lunge, exhale, lower. Twice more. Dropping that back knee down to just an inch or so above the mat. Last round, exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Now step it shorter for Warrior 3. Bring your hands down by your side and shift your weight into your front foot. Inhale as you lift the back leg, coming up into the letter T. Flex the back foot and push away through that heel and lengthen to the crown of your head. Exhale to lower, and inhale, rise back up into Exalted Warrior. Now lower your hands back down to the mat. Inhale, step back to Downward Facing Dog, and exhale, curl forwards to the top of the plank. Lowering into a hover, hold, then lower down. Inhale, rise into Cobra, and exhale, come back to Downward Facing Dog. From Downward Facing Dog, we're going to come into Pigeon. Sweep your right leg to your ceiling. Bring your right leg forwards, your knee outside of your right wrist, and your shin diagonally across your mat. Going to add on a stretch for the quads. Bend your left knee and see if you can reach round and take a hold of your left foot in your hand. If you can't quite reach it, take a strap or a belt. Fold this in half to create a loop. Going to place that loop over your foot, and then you can use that to start to draw your heel closer into the buttocks. If you can do it without the aid of a strap, just take a hold of your foot in your left hand and use your hand to draw your heel closer into the buttocks. You'll feel this as a strong stretch right down your left thigh. Releasing your foot down to the mat and bring your forearms down. Soften your shoulders, and if available, walk your hands straight forwards and rest your forehead down on the mat. The majority of your weight here is up in your left leg and you're folding forward straight. Sometimes it's easy to collapse over to one side or the other here. Try and keep the body in a straight line. You'll feel this stretch in the right glutes and sometimes down the inside of the right thigh. Walking the hands back in, lift the chest up. Coming back to Downward Facing Dog, tuck your toes under and step back. Repeat that on the other side. Lift your left leg, and then place your left knee outside of your left wrist and your shin diagonally across your mat. Adding on the thigh stretch. Bend your right leg and take a hold of the foot. If you needed a strap, use the strap on this side as well. Whether with your hand or with the strap, start to draw your heel closer into your buttocks. Find that stretch down the right thigh. Taking a couple more breaths, and then lower your foot down. Come onto your forearms here. Soften your shoulders. If available, sweep your arms out and rest your forehead down. Again, mindful that you're not rolling over to one side here, but you're in a straight line down the length of your mat. Notice where you feel the stretch and try not to clench here. A lot of people clench the buttocks. Really try to soften with your breath. Preparing to come out, walk your hands back in. Tuck your back toes under and step back to Downward Facing Dog. Coming through to Seated, bring your feet to touch, bend your knees and your elbows and step or maybe even hop through to Seated. From seated, both legs extended straight forwards. Bring your hands to your hips and lift your chest. Now hinging at your hips, come into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Rest your hands below your knees, at your ankles, or even take your feet. Inhale to lengthen in the chest and exhale, folding down over the legs. I'm going to stay here for quite a few breaths, using a wave-like rhythm. Every inhale backing off, waving length through the torso, and exhale, folding down over the legs. Inhale to back off and lengthen, and exhale to fold. A few more cycles of breath. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, fold. Keeping your legs active and engaged here, drawing the thigh muscles up. Now inhale, rising all the way back up. Bend your right leg and bring your right heel to the inside of your thigh. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, folding forwards once more, bringing your hands out like stabilizers, or maybe even lower onto your forearms. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, folding in this wave-like breath again. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold. Remember that active thigh in the left leg. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, folding last time. Inhale as you come all the way up now, preparing for a seated twist. Step your right leg up and over your left. Hug that leg with the opposite arm and bring your spare hand behind you. If you wish, wrap your left heel around. Now inhale, wave length through the spine, and exhale, coming into the twist, moving the back shoulder round. Focus on the breath here and see if you can feel the sensation of wringing out a sponge between your shoulder blades. Inhale, coming back to center. I'm going to do that on the other side, and I'm going to show you this from facing the front. So I'm mirroring you here. Bring your left foot in against the inside of your right thigh. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, fold forwards, either onto the hands or maybe even lowering down onto the forearms. Keep your right leg active. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale, folding down. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen last time, and exhale, fold. Inhale as you rise all the way up now, coming into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Step your left leg up and over your right and hug in with your opposite arm. If you wish, you can also bend your right leg round. Lengthen through your chest and circle over your back shoulder, coming into a seated twist. Again, looking for the sensation here, this wringing out a sponge between your shoulder blades. It's not so much what your poses look like, but what they feel like. Coming back to center, unravel the legs. Now rolling all the way down onto your back, draw your knees into your chest and take a little rock from side to side, massaging out your low back. Now finishing with happy baby pose, taking your toes or taking the outside edge of your feet. That might be enough of a stretch right there. Or if you wish, you can bring your feet directly above your knees and your knees are open, one either side of your rib cage. You can add a rocking motion here, which will help to release both the hips and the low back. Close the eyes as you let the body relax and unwind, hugging your knees into your chest, and then relaxing your legs all the way out on the mat, coming into Savasana. If it's not comfortable to lie straight out like this, a nice alternative is to keep your feet up, mat distance wide, and drop your knees into touch. Bring your arms out by your side, palm face up to the ceiling, and slide your shoulder blades underneath you. Tune into your breath that slow rise and fall of your breath in your belly.